Hi everyone, welcome back to my Taboo's Voice channel. Today we are going to be talking about worry. This talk is going to be for my worry bugs. This is something that we all go through. It's okay if at this moment you are worrying what's going to happen next. It is actually really normal, and it's just something that eventually you will understand why worrying only actually exhausts you. It doesn't serve, or those energy aren't it doesn't serve you, but in a way it does kind of serve you, because when you think about it, when you worry you end up doing more than you need to. And everything ends up working out very well anyway at the end. I, I say this is because, trust me, I understand this all too well. Oh my gosh, was I a worry bug? And I still have moments where I worry too, and that's okay. It happens. I think it's because it's the part of us that moments where you want what you're doing to be just perfect, and there's moments where there your worry is that, oh, what if it's not? Yeah, actually, when thinking about it, it is all actually that perfectionist, and you know that was put in us, of feeling like it's not good enough, but it's perfect, and we just keep messing with it. And yes, I'm just gonna share some of my stories of like how I realized that worrying didn't serve me, and the universe definitely put a lot of lessons on my path to get me to understand that I don't need to worry. My journey is so guided, is so protected, that I do not even need to worry. I just need to make sure that what I'm doing aligns with me. It serves everything that I believe, that I live by. That's all that matters. Other than that, nothing else matters. And so, oh, and so, sorry guys. Um, but yes, okay. I will start out with when I was such my way of thinking is just so amazing. But anyway, when I was 8 years old, we had a little, like, I feel like it's like carnival at my school, and my whole family, we went, and we had such a fun time, and I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay longer. And my older siblings were like, we gotta go home. We gotta go home. And I was like, no. And I was so stubborn. I ran to the other side. And was walking myself home because I didn't want to get into the car because I was so upset with my sister, and was and her being in her teenage age, she didn't care, so she drove off and she went home. And I was 8 years old, and it was pitch dark, and I was walking, and I would pass this church that I remember seeing whenever the bus would it would always pass that church before it makes a left turn and then a right turn to my school. And I would walk past it because I knew that was the direction towards my house. But I would get so scared continuing forward that I ended up actually walking. That my intuition kicked in and said, hey, walk back to your school and stay in the playground area. And I did that, and I just stayed in there. I was just sitting in the slide. And I don't know how long I stayed there, but my sister came back. And I believe that she called out my name. And I came down the slide, and I saw her, and I ran, and I got into the car, and then, yeah, we went home. And I mentioned this stories because of what I just said previously. We are so guided. Even as stubborn as you can be, or inexperienced, or just so many other reasons, it doesn't matter. Because eventually, you're gonna get to experience all you desire and want, and probably even more than that. And look forward to it. Don't be afraid, because you don't want to miss out on what you don't. You don't want to miss out on what's actually good for you. So don't put a limitation on anything. Because when we worry, we do, that is it's almost as if you see, the thing is that I want to say so many things, but I understand why the worrying. Because the thing is that if you grew up in a family that worries a lot, you're gonna worry. If you didn't grow up in a family environment, or just like an environment in general that habit was not shown, then then that's something that you would not struggle with. And worrying was something that, yes, it definitely was displayed and still is displayed in my family. And I understand why. It's because my parents, they were like, my dad, he fought in a war, and my mom, she had to be a she wasn't a soldier, but she was a child that experienced war. And they went through their own struggles and worries of like, when is our next meal, to where we're gonna live, to are we gonna have enough money for rent. And so I understand why that was something that was displayed in my household. Like every moment that I talk about my family, I I understand where all of them are coming from. And that is the biggest beauty of actually going through your spiritual awakening. Is that it is so painful, but you get to see the reality of everything. And first it starts out with like confusion to rage to like anger and frustration, and then it calms you down, and then you get back to ground level, and then you love again. It's all these mixed emotions, but yeah. But yes, to all my worry bugs, this conversation is for you guys to just soften your heart and help you breathe more smoothly. Everything is already planned out for you already. And not only that, but as long as you've done your part in the next step that you wish to go on, that's all you can do. You can't do more. You've already done everything that has been asked. So let it go. Free yourself and live. Experience. And handle the aftermath of what is the outcome of whatever you're doing. That's when you handle it. And I get it, because oh my gosh, my biggest worry that happened a couple of years back was when I left one of my jobs. This was my first realization of how this was the workplace that helped open my eyes completely to understand how unhealthy the work environment, or at least the departments that I worked at, are, and I needed to really accept it. That is the environment. For me, it broke my heart to see that when I came into that environment, it was unhealthy already, and I knew it. But I wanted to make things work because I really like what I was learning there. And so I was hoping for the best, but that wasn't the case, because new employees came in, and they were younger than me, and they were being mistreated also, and I just could not. I couldn't. That was hard for me to take in, because the thing is that for me, I was older than them, they were younger than me, and I just could not. Let's just say that I was fighting a battle that there was no win. And that was just the truth. I say this is because while I was worrying about them and how they're being mistreated, one day one of them came up to me and talked to me and said that, don't worry, what is being done, I don't even think about it much. It doesn't bother me. And if anything, he wanted me to have compassion towards the abuser. And it's just, at that moment, I was so like numb and I just, there was just so much that I needed to heal during that moment, that when he said that, I was like, okay, I get it. I know what you guys are doing. So people are talking and they know what's going on with my situation, with one of the leads, and my situation with this department, and also my supervisor. And it was there on that I was like, okay, you know, it started out with me fighting for truly all of us being mistreated. But at the end, I realized that that's not how things work. And so, at the end, I fought for me. And I was worried how things were going to turn out because it didn't look good. And I knew that the department that I was working for, all of them were working together and trying to let's just say built a story to make me out to be the one that is making things a big deal. And it makes sense why they would do that. It's because they don't want to be the one to look like the ass, like they're not supportive, and they were the head of what was going on with the tormenting in the area that I was working at. And what's so crazy is that during that time, I only spoke about what the lead had done, but there were so many other things that my coworkers that have worked here for a couple of years, and even my supervisors, they've all done. But for me, I was worried about I don't know why I was even worried about them. I was worried about them more than I was worried about me. I was willing to adapt if they would just actually, when I think about it, I knew I wasn't going to. I was not willing to adapt. That was never going to happen. But But why I'm talking about this situation is that I was worried about how this was going to turn out. And it turned out, the situation turned out better than I expected, but mentally, where I was at, it broke me. I would say that. Because I just couldn't understand how this specific place, who has such beautiful values, and just the people made that founded this place, they built this place with such beautiful morals and values. And it just sucks that people like that work in a place like this, that do not even stand by those values but abuses those values, meaning that they use it to control people, but it doesn't mean they follow it. That's the last thing they do. But they don't mind to push it on people to follow them. But you know what? I only mentioned this is because everything turned out. Even I didn't know how things was gonna go, but it went better than I expected. But yes, there was a lot of healing. Would I change anything? Where it has led me, I gotta say no. Because it has taught me that the system is effed up, okay? The workplaces are effed up. It's not for the people. It is for money. They don't care. They just don't care. The thing is that the system likes to keep people sick because that's where the money is. And it just sucks to see it in that kind of way. That's the reason why in my environment I always talk about keep yourself healthy. Take care of yourself. Put yourself first. And take care of you. Because those things are so important. Because the more and more you take care of yourself, the more and more you know yourself, the more and more you trust yourself, the worry is just, it dissipates. The worry is only there is because because you want it to turn out a certain way, and that isn't up to us. That's up to truly the universe. If that destiny is meant for you to walk, it will happen. I promise you. That is just the truth. If it's meant to be in a part of your journey, it will work out. And that's part of just trusting the process and letting it go. If it doesn't work out, it means it was not meant for you. And that is, and just accept it and let it go. Continue on forward. Don't stop there, because there's so much to experience and explore. And if you waste your time worrying and then feeling disappointed and not enough, it is a setback, but you know what? I would say this: everything happens for a reason. If those emotions are needed, explore them. Understand why you're even having them. It's so important, because the more that you understand why you're having them, it becomes less and less, because you know exactly what your body or your emotion is trying to tell you. So it's no longer, oh, I'm worrying. No, it's gonna be like, oh, I'm feeling this ways because I feel like, oh, maybe in this area I could have added more details to it. But with a deadline, I was only able to do my best at that time. Let it go. That's it. You're only able to do your best at that time. If you were given more time, it would have been even better. And that's okay. But that's the beauty of it. Of, exploring your emotions, what you're feeling, what your body's telling you. Because the thing is that the worrying is so much more than just worrying. And when the more that you explore yourself, the more you understand. Yeah. So have a beautiful time exploring yourself and understanding what your body, what your emotions are telling you. And the more you do, the less you worry, because you know exactly why you're feeling that way. Always remember, you are equipped with everything you need. Everything you need. Don't ever forget about that. I love you so much, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a beautiful night.